Okay, so let's talk about another theory. I mentioned this in the last video, but now we're going to make another video about it. Now, this one's probably going to be like, I might make more than one part to it, but basically we're just going to cover it for what it really is. So one of the ideas in Pokemon was that they had a lot of ideas that were scrapped. A lot of these moves were actually in the Pokemon trading cards as well. I'll give you an example. Kadabra. Kadabra had a move called Super Psy, but it was not in Generation 1, 2, and I think even onwards. Even 3, I don't even think they even included it. I could be wrong, though. But at one point, though, the move was called, it was supposed to be, it wasn't recycled in a Psy Wave, I believe. I believe Psy Wave was its own move. But it's really interesting to think that, you know, I was always wondering where they got these names from, because I still do have a lot of these old Wizard of the Coast cards, like again, Kadabra, and another one was like, you might remember Hitmonchan. I actually had Jab as one of its abilities. And you sit here, and I mean, obviously Jab's like a punch, you know, 'cause Hitmonchan. Jackie Chan is basically what it's a parody of, and then Hitmonlee was a parody of Bruce Lee. So, you know, you could see where they got the idea from. But it's really interesting how, you know, how many attacks they had that were scrapped from the game, but like were still in the game. So it was proof that they did have these ideas at some point that were just later revamped into something else, or maybe just scrapped altogether, and then later moves came and replaced them later on. Again, cartridge limitations, animation limitations, and data limitations. So when Pokemon came out, it was only one cartridge. You couldn't swap them out and resume where you left off. Again, kind of the same reason why the N64 kind of had its problem, again, with the beta swapping or the dual cartridges. That was supposed to be a thing at one point, but it didn't work. So, you know, that's kind of why, like, if you remember stop and swap items from a Banjo-Kazooie, you know, that's why a lot of people didn't really, you know, they wondered what that was all about. But, like, it was an unfinished event, you know. So, kind of made you wonder, because you couldn't swap cartridges out. Therefore, Banjo-Kazooie and Banjo-Tooie, again, the sequel to it, you know, the extra content was just in the game, but, like, you had to, like, really look for, you just had to get it, like, alternatively. Some of it was in there, but not all of it, though. It's very interesting, actually, how they managed to pull that off. But again, just like Pokemon, you know, they have their own history of, you know, they'll do this, they'll do that, and then, you know, maybe leave some things out, and makes you wonder, like, what really went on in the whole series as a whole. And so, yeah. But anyways, yeah, so basically we have a bunch of Pokemon moves that really do make you wonder what kind of attacks they really would have been, if not just in the games, but, you know, how many moves all together. Just like Pokemon, like, how many Pokemon moves did they scrap, and how many Pokemon, and I mean, even if you want to start counting, like, other things, like abilities, like somewhere down the line, how many Pokemon abilities, like in Gen 3, might have been scrapped, or, you know, how many prototype data maps did they actually have that got scrapped, and how many, not just Pokemon, but how many different ideas got scrapped altogether. Like, what does Game Freak still know that we don't, you know? A lot of Pokemon concept arts that probably were still saved in their database, but we don't know about it yet. And, you know, it really would be interesting to see a lot of it if we could just somehow get our hands on it. That way we could really tell how much different Pokemon really was supposed to be, or even what else. But yeah, if you want, if you still have your Pokemon cards, you know, try digging through them and trying to see what moves that you can find that haven't really been on there. So I guarantee you might find some of them that were like that you wouldn't have seen before. Like I think even Parasect and Pinsir had, like, there was like Scissor Stun was another move I remember, but I don't think it was actually on one of the cards, though. I know Spore was one of them. It's really interesting how they made that. But again, tons of Pokemon and tons of Pokemon cards that still have yet to be revamped, re-idolized, and maybe even forgotten, you know. But anyways, you know, you can really see, like, what I mean, like a lot of beta moves, and you really start to wonder, like, you know, they really did scrap a lot of certain moves that were from the games. Like I know, for example, like in Gen 1 there was a lot of, I mean, I don't know how many dragon type moves there were, but like, you know, there was Dragon Rage and Mega Fire. That was actually the ones I was able to find. And Mega Fire, Cryothin, and only I believe, which is a Pokemon you probably never even heard of. It was a water dragon type that was Skimmer, and then the Beluga evolved into it. And then that was actually who Lance had. Like, you know, you might remember fighting Lance in Gen 1, and he had like 2 Dragonairs, a Dragonite, an Aerodactyl, and a Gyarados. But at one point, he actually never really had those Pokemon. He had one dragon. Oh, jeez. He had a Dratini, a Beluga, a Cryothin, a Dragonite, and I do believe a Gyarados. 1, 2, yeah, something like that. And I was always wondered why the Elite Four never had 6 Pokemon. You know, it'd kind of be interesting, actually. You know, when aside from the rematches that you have with them usually, they always start with 5 instead of 4 or 6 Pokemon. It'd be interesting, you know. They're such elites of the gaming industry, but yet, you know, they didn't have, like, they're like, oh, we're good trainers, but we don't need 6 Pokemon. We only need 5 instead. But very interesting though. But maybe because I thought you were fighting like 5 trainers at a time, and then you'd fight the champion, or 4 trainers at a time, and then the champion. So it's interesting to think about that. That's another theory, but anything could be a theory, especially in Pokemon. Man, you start wondering all these possibilities, and you make a video about it. So yeah, different moves from different cards. Different cards might have just led to different possibilities. So how many more Pokemon moves are there that were probably scrapped altogether? I am still digging through some of them. I don't even know if I've even found all of them yet. Because basically, the best way I can do it is catch every Pokemon, level it up from like 1 to 100, and just say, you know what, see what Pokemon moves we come across. If we find something we haven't seen before, we make a video about it. And I think Farfetch, even one of the cards it had, like it had Pot Smash. So it would take its leak and smash a pot or something, or take the pot and smash it on the Pokemon. So it's kind of interesting how they did that. You know, it's like a karate chop with the leak it has. And then it's actually pretty cool, actually. Again, how many ideas they had that they scrapped all together, and makes you wonder just how much different the series really would have been. But you know, if you really know where to look, you'll find evidence anywhere. It's there. It's right in front of you, or it's somewhere else just waiting to be discovered. So that's pretty cool, actually. So again, if you're not subscribed to this channel, again, like this video. If I find something else, I'll make a video about it. But as always, you know, take it easy and good luck.